Guys, skill-based leaderboards. Basically, it is ELO confirmed by Ninja Kiwi. Gamers all around the flat universe. Today we have new news on the BTD battles too, and we have some exciting news, by the way. So Ninja Kiwi posted the blog on September 24th. It's been a week already, and I neglected this week, but I was not disappointed when I actually got myself to read this thing, because first, Ninja Kiwi is always like making some excuses that they made the trash race. Like, we are speaking the race that is called 1:37:01. This is the time that 115 players in the top got, and the time was literally the same. So the race rewards were split unevenly, and some hackers actually got the rewards. So big fuck up by Ninja Kiwi, but that's not the thing we are here today for. What is very interesting is that, look, first, good thing for you to know, Ninja Kiwi's opinion on the Bitter Witter. This is the guy on Reddit who draws the comics of the BTD 6 characters. Pretty fun stuff, I highly recommend you to check him out. But next thing is, look, I know it has been confirmed defense mode and card battles won't return to battles 2. But how come? I've always enjoyed card battles, which is bullshit. Card battles are bad. And was wondering if there was technical reason for it not returning. We hear on card battles, which is a favorite of some of the team. It's not part of Battles 2 planning, not so much, because Battles 1 version didn't get as much play. Which is the reason. The reason for this is just the game mode was not that good. The only good reason in Battles 1 for you to play the card battles was to grind the trophies, not the trophies, the medals and the keys for the chests. In some game modes, card battles can be good for grinding. Other than that, it's not that fun. You need to grind at least 100 wins in order to get all the cards unlocked. Then you need to grind 500 wins in the regular arena to get the powers in order to become competent in this game mode, and to try to even pose a threat to the high-level opponents in this arena. The amount of grinding, pointless grinding, it takes to be good in card battles is ridiculous. There are some players that play thousands and thousands of games in the card battles, but it's tiny minority. And usually they are very terrible in any other game mode. So card battle, definitely not the game-defining thing, but what's more important is the following. So we wanted to make sure that Battles 2 was super streamlined and totally focused on arena progression and new skill-based leaderboards. Guys, skill-based leaderboards. Basically, it is ELO confirmed by Ninja Kiwi. So we will have the leaderboard not based on the grinding and having no prestige. Instead, we will have the skill-based leaderboard. That's what we were praying for. ELO. You will never face the very experienced player if you are a noob, and you will never face the noob if you are an experienced player. You will always get matched to your skill level. Thus, the game becomes more interesting and it never loses the hype, because one of the worst things to feel is when you are getting so good at the game that you actually are bored from winning. That's one of the reasons why I quit BTD battles. But here, it's not gonna be a problem, and the imbalanced matchmaking is just not gonna be a thing. The sheer magnitude of this confirmation is ridiculous. Also, the fact that Ninja Kiwi say that they want the game to be super streamlined. My interpretation of this is that they want to have only like 1 or maybe 2 game modes, very narrow and focused, where we will focus on one basically boosts only game mode. So Ninja Kiwi removed the road spikes, that's how it's called. So the nails on the floor. they removed the road spikes and they left only boosts and the bloom boosts. So powers are widely considered a fucking shit terrible update. I don't think it's like anything new to you. And Ninja Kiwi heard us and they removed the fucking shit terrible update powers and they left the classics, the boosts only, but for some reason without the tags, which is just fine. Like people were molding about removing the road spikes, etc. I don't see any problem with this one. Like with road spikes, you just got a few tiny advantages, maybe like wasting them on the Moab to pop the Moab layer quicker or popping a few LEDs, but other than that, not that big of advantage, so you can easily play without road spikes, and this is really good. What the opportunity for us here, because it's alright if you get this streamlined focus, but what's the outcome? And the outcome is this is getting even closer and closer to the competitive arena. So the competitive esports, let's be straight. So this may be the first step to going into the esports. So when you have, this is basically the formula for the good esports. You have one focused type of game where you have the reasonable balance. It doesn't have to be like very well balanced, because we all know that competitive games are lived from patch to patch to patch. Like in the different patches, developers decide to buff the specific unit that was underused previously. That's the basics of game design. And we as the pro gamers and YouTubers try to exploit the current meta and to abuse the towers that are buffed in these kind of patches. It's the basics. You don't have to have the perfect balance game. Like in BTD battles, helicopter was meta for a long time before 2018, but then they just killed the tower. It was pretty fun to play with it, but now it's almost impossible. So Ninja Kiwi really likes to kill the towers. I hope they don't do this in BTD battles too, because in BTD 6 there are no dead towers. Every single tower and every single hero in BTD 6 do work, and you have the use for them in the game. I do think that Ninja Kiwi have the potential to transition this thing into the BTD battles too and make it just as good of a balanced and fun game at the same time, and also esports. So when you have one game mode, you just get better in it, you get more people in it, you organize the tournaments. You know what would be really good? If Ninja Kiwi actually created the tiny tournaments of their own. We all know that Ninja Kiwi is not a poor company. They make millions each month from their games, just in the profits from the downloading and the donations. So they're not poor. I'm pretty sure it would be really good to organize the official tournaments, even in BTD Battles 1. Like, we can begin from BTD Battles 1. The weekly tournaments, like, between the best players, with the bracket of 32 players. So you can apply, etc. There are some playoffs, and then eventually it goes down to 32 players. You can hiring the YouTubers is not going to be cheap, so I would not recommend. Just get a few people, like maybe the community casters, and just try to get the community best player tournaments. The prize pool should be at least $100. So $100 to $200. It's like the tiny piece of money for the big company, but it would be really incentivizing to the players to enter these kind of tournaments, and it would be very fun for the actual viewers to observe this and actually be more entertained, because this should be the first step into the esports from BTD battles. Otherwise, it's gonna be very hard to convince a big amount of people to enter this scene if we don't have like the tiny stepping stones to the goal of getting the battles 2 into the esports scene. So that's my thoughts. Very good to know that we have ELO confirmed, and it's also pretty fun to be notified about the esports potential. Okay guys, press the like or dislike button right now depending on what you think about this video. Subscribe now and press the bell notifications, because why freaking not? We are posting amazing videos all the time. See ya in the next one.